Let's talk about Silksong. As one of the most dedicated and obsessed Hollow Knight fans out there, having felt like Silksong was just months away from release for years now kind of sucks. And I think it's totally valid if fans express disappointment. Disappointment at the delays and at the relative silence from Team Cherry. A lot of us would just love to hear a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes. Some of us have absolutely felt our hype for Silksong fade away, and it doesn't feel great because it's something we were excited about for a long time. But one of the reasons I want to talk about this is because there are some people who take it a little too far. To explain, let me tell you the story of a man named John Silksong, which isn't his real name, but he is a real person. John Silksong was a frequent commenter on my videos. John would post on every one of my videos without fail a diatribe targeting Team Cherry with the intent of exposing them for their evil greed. John would explain in great detail why no one should ever support Team Cherry. And I'm not kidding, John did this for months. Every time I posted a video, John would reply with a freshly written essay trying to convince everyone that Team Cherry hates them. Hopefully the irony of John, a man who watches every Fireborn video, also hating the person who made the game that Fireborn plays, isn't lost on anyone. In John's comments, he wrote if Team Cherry cared about their fans, they would hire more employees and finish the game faster. And to be fair to John, this makes sense on a surface level. John said the only reason why Team Cherry didn't hire a new team of employees is so they could hoard all the profits for themselves to satisfy their lust for money. To be honest, I don't really follow. If Team Cherry wanted money above all else, what they would have done is release Silksong, because then people would buy it, thus earning them money. Team Cherry could have released Silksong and Zootboat by now if they wanted to. I think Team Cherry is choosing to work with their small team because that's what they saw success with already. And there's not really much more to it. Anyway, after months of this, I decided to save John Silksong from himself, from his own self-imposed prison in my comment section, so I banned him from it. We can only pray that someday he discovers the existence of other video games. Anyway, listen. I understand the disappointment, and I also understand speaking out about it. Because as a customer and as a supporter of their products, it's valid to talk about what you want. But acting enraged against Team Cherry and painting them as evildoers is embarrassing. The entire reason why we're so emotionally invested in Silksong's release is because Team Cherry made a product that we love. The Hollow Knight community has potential for so much positivity, but instead, some are beating the drum and losing their minds over something we can't really change. If it's such a problem that Silksong isn't releasing, and if you've lost interest, why not focus on other games that are releasing? If you broaden your horizons just a little, you'll find that there are actually a lot of games that have released recently that are in development which offer similar experiences to Hollow Knight. What I'm seeing from some members of the community is especially jarring for me, having just finished 9 Souls. I streamed all of it, and for me, it might actually be my favorite first playthrough of any game I've ever played. I made a video saying 9 Souls might be a 10 out of 10, and I had commenters in disbelief, implying I must be sponsored. Because what? We're allowed to assume Silksong is guaranteed to be a 10 out of 10, no questions asked. But a game by another development company, no shot. Are we really this delusional? It's also a lot of burden to place on Team Cherry that they're the only ones who can make a game that would satisfy us. Like, I never thought we would become codependent with a game developer, but there are similar games releasing that are also great. 9 Souls and Animal Well released in the last month, and in my opinion, both absolutely rival Hollow Knight in terms of quality. Depending on the post-launch support 9 Souls receives, I honestly think it could become my favorite game ever made. I was blown away by how good the game is. But the point of the video isn't gushing about 9 Souls as much as I'd like to babble about it. It's just, as a Hollow Knight community member, as one of the most obsessed weirdos playing the game 24/7 for years. More than anything right now, I want to support indie developers who are creating excellent games. There are developers taking huge risks to make these games, just like Team Cherry did, and they need support. I don't want to just wallow in disappointment and misery over the lack of communication about Silksong or Silksong delays and cry myself to sleep after every gaming event inevitably doesn't have Silksong news. I mean, God forbid Silksong releases and doesn't live up to the hype, because let's face it, it's a real possibility. I think the game will be great, but we are being silly if we don't accept the possibility that Silksong could fall short of our insanely high expectations. And something a lot of us don't think about is how much we, the community, made Hollow Knight as special as it is. Think about the speedrunners, the challenge runners, the amazing modders, the fan artists, the animators, and more. Let's take the same energy and use it to support other amazing indie developers while we wait for Silksong, instead of sitting around disappointed aboard the increasingly depressing Silksong hype train. Guys, I promise it will be okay. We can enjoy other things. We can enjoy Hollow Knight. And someday, Silksong will release.